morning, Math 8. We are going to solve proportional equations today. I sometimes call this butterfly math. So I'm just going to draw a little butterfly so you can see. All right, so we can see butterfly wings this way. Kind of looks like a butterfly if you put its thing in the middle. So there's our body. So with proportions, you might recall this from 6th grade or 7th grade where you multiply across. So you're going to solve, we know that 7 over 3x plus 9 equals 1 over 8. So I just grab this and I say, okay, I know that we multiply this way. I multiply 1 times 3x plus 9. So that would just be 3x plus 9 because 1 times anything is itself. And then I put my equal sign. And I grab the other wing and I say that equals 7 times 8. So that's 56. So essentially, this is a two-step equation. You just have to make it look that way to begin with. So now you solve it the way you know how to solve. You subtract 9 from both sides. And when we do that, you end up with 3x equals 47, right? So 56 for 47. And then you divide both sides by 3. And I'm just going to, I don't have a calculator with me, so I'm just going to say 3 goes into 47. 1 gives me 3. 3 goes into 17 5 times, which would be 15. It's a good time to review long division, and you can see that you would end up with x is equal to 15 and 2/3. So it reads around like this, 15 and then 2 over 3. That is a fine way to write this. It's also the same thing as 15.66 repeating. And remember, we put that line over the top. If you type it in your calculator, you're going to see 15.666666 until they run out of space, and then it will round up. Any of those answers are fine. I would prefer the first two. The second example is a little more complex, but it's the same thing. You still grab the butterfly wings. So I'm going to do the first one first, this way, and be cautious here. This is really 8 times 6 plus x, so it's a distributive property. And then I'll grab the other wing. This is 3 times 7x plus 2/3. So now your first step is to share. So I'm going to remember to share. I'll use green. 8 times 6 gives me 48. 8 times x gives me 8x. Equals 3 times 7 gives me 21x. And then this one's fun. 3 times 2/3. So I'm just going to show it off to the side. 3 over 1 times 2 over 3. Back in 6th grade and 7th grade, you hopefully talked about cross-canceling here. So we can say 3 goes into 3 once, so those cancel out, giving you 1 over 1, and you just multiply across. So you'd say 1 times 2 gives you 2, 1 times 1 gives you 1. So this 3 times 2/3 is just 2. So it looks challenging, but it's really not. Now this is variables on both sides. We're really good at this now. You want to move your smaller number of x's. So you'll end up with 48 equals 21 minus 8, 13x plus 2. And now you have a two-step equation, so you're going to subtract 2 from both sides. So you end up with 46 equals 13x. Now you can grab your calculator tab or your calculator anytime. I don't have one and I'm on an iPad. So off to the side, I'm just going to model long division. 13 goes into 46. So 13 times 3 gives me 39. 44 for 2 for 3, 4, 5, 46. I get 7. So that would be 3 and 7/13. So x equals 3 and 7/13. So there is our answer. It's okay to use your fingers. It's okay to do any kind of counting you need, as long as you can go through that. It's also okay to use a calculator or a calculator tab. I'm not going to change that to a decimal, but you could. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video right now and try the class practice. So there's problem number 1. I'll show you. You want the extra practice, which I hope some of you are. Pick more than 2. That there's problem number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I am going to ask you to pick any two that you want to do, and I'm going to work through the solutions here. I'm not going to video them. This will just be an answer key. So you pick any two that you'd like to do. If you're motivated